I'm so giddy today for like the silliest reason, but I created a reading challenge and I'm gonna share it with you guys today. Hi everybody, it's Audrey and welcome back to Chapter and Converse. And welcome to my first ever reading challenge bingo board announcement ever. So I had entirely too much fun playing on Canva, coming up with prompts, trying to find the right name for it, and I came up with BOOKTROVERT BINGO. So this is a 92-day reading challenge. It's October, November, and December. And a little backstory. I've been having a really great time this year participating in other reading challenges. So I'm doing the A to Z challenge. I'm currently doing Series September. I did the Booklist bingo board this summer that Sarah and Lindsay did. I did their reading retreat and there was a bingo board just for that day of all the things to do. But what I love about these challenges is it's getting me to think about what I'm going to pick up next. And I'm still a super moody reader, but they definitely are steering me in a direction of maybe a book I wouldn't have picked up, like I finally read on sub, as you guys know. Books I've talked about a ton and I keep saying I'm gonna read and I haven't read. And I also just love kind of challenging myself and playing a game with myself and checking off the squares. There's just such a gratification in being able to check something off a list. So I was looking for something that I could do in October, and then I thought, wow, is there like a fourth quarter, finish the year strong, just sort of knock out books, just have a good time with the end of the year? I keep hunching my shoulders, but I couldn't find anything that totally suited me, or I couldn't find really any fourth quarter challenges. So when in doubt, create your own challenge, right? I feel like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck when they wrote Good Will Hunting, because they couldn't get acting roles, so they wrote their own movie that they could star in. So this is me creating my own movie that I can star in. But in all seriousness, this is all for fun. I hope you guys will join me with this. I'm gonna pop up the bingo board and go through all of it. So I have 25 prompts. This is for October 1st through December 31st, so 92 days. You do not need to read 25 books. You can pick one book and put it in 7 different places. If you can find one book that serves all 25, then my mind would be blown. I don't think that's actually possible. But you can get one bingo, you can get the entire board full, you can do no bingos, but just sort of graze the list and look for things maybe for some own, like for inspiration for yourself to try to figure out what to pick up next. But I just thought it would be a really fun time. Like I said, I had entirely too much fun in Canva. So I am going to talk through all of the prompts. Some of them are super self-explanatory. I am going to include all the information down below. I'll also be posting on my Instagram as it gets closer. I created a hashtag, and like I said, I hope you guys will give it a go, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think about it. But I'm gonna shimmy over so I can pop the board up onto the screen, and let's play bingo. Okay, so I wanna make sure that I have enough room so you guys can see the board, and I will obviously include everything down below as well. And as we get closer to the challenge, I will post stuff on my Instagram and all the places. So, and by all the places, I mean here on Instagram. So, this is not a completely thrillery, murdery kind of a bingo board. And I know some of you guys are probably scanning ahead and you're like, dude, the first square says dark and messed up. Yes, it does, but I don't make a TBR. I'm low key, like I'm high maintenance, but I'm low key. The whole point of this is to just have fun with it. So make the prompts your own. I'm gonna give you the sort of origin story of each one of the prompts. Some are completely obvious, some might be a little bit more cryptic. And again, just have fun with it is the entire point. So I hope you guys will join me in doing this, and let's just get into it. Okay, so prompt number 1 is dark and messed up, because that is who I am in so many ways. But pick a book that has dark in the title. Pick a book that's dark and messed up. What is your version of dark and messed up? It's not necessarily the same as mine. So maybe messed up is just a messy person. You know, either kind of like in a Pigpen, Charlie Brown type of a way, or someone who doesn't totally have their life together and they're trying to get their life together. Again, do what you wish with any of these prompts. This is very much the bingo board is what you make of it. So I had to throw in a couple signature lines. So that's the first one. The second one is looking back. This is pick a backlist book. Anything backlist, which I know backlist is supposed to be 6 months or older. I feel like backlist should be the previous year, but again, you do you. The third one is That's Not My Name. So read a book with somebody who writes with a pseudonym. So I could recommend Riley Sager to you guys. I could recommend Liv Constantine to you guys. Lee Child, like there's just obviously so many. Margot Hunt, Aaron Sterling, on and on and on. And I can actually do a suggestion video if you guys would like that, but I don't want to put the cart ahead of the horse. So anyway, here we go. One word title, one word title. Group effort. So anything that is just more than one author contributing to it, writing it. You could do an audiobook like a Daisy Jones where you've got Taylor Jenkins Reid wrote it, but you have a fully fleshed out cast. So anything that just has multiple people either in the storytelling, for that sake, do multiple POVs if you want. Just anything that's just more than a single POV, more than a single author, more than a single anything. Group effort. Next up is school ties. So you guys know I love my dark academia. I love anything that takes place in a boarding school or a college or any of that vibe. So as we're ushering into fall and 'tis the season of that, wait for that prompt. This is anything school related, read it. The next one is Outside the Box, and this is to read a book that is reflective of an author or an experience that is not yours. So you can read from a different gender, from a different race, someone who's from a different country, someone who has any kind of life experience that is not completely reflective of yours. So something different than you. Cover up, this is a cover by, a cover that you love, anything that you think is beautiful, anything that you're drawn to. This is just totally cover related, so pick a book by its cover. Next up is gifted or thrifted. I feel like this is pretty self-explanatory, but anything that's been gifted to you, anything you've thrifted, and have at it. Next up is Gen X. So as a Gen Xer, I gave a little helpful information here for those of you who might not know. So anything between 1965 and 1984. So it can be something that was written between those times or something that takes place between those dates. That's a Gen X. Next is New York State of Mind. So as a born, somewhat bred, and currently living in New York after a pit stop in Boston, this could be by an author who is from New York, or it could be a book that is set in New York. I also feel like I should mention any of these can be fiction or nonfiction, so doesn't matter. They don't have to all be fiction books. Next is page to screen. So this is anything that's been adapted from the book to television, to movies, to a documentary, anything in that world. The center square is read a book. So I know this is usually like a free square, but to me, reading a book is a free square. So any book goes here. And I should have said this earlier in the video. You can use one book for multiple prompts. So this doesn't have to be you read 25 different books, like use one book 4 times over, whatever you want to make it work. So anything can go into read a book and then go elsewhere on the board as well. So next up is Murder They Wrote. So in honor of National Novel Writing Month in November and the fact that I love murders, it's just somebody who writes mysteries or thrillers, some sort of mystery or thriller, cozy, something where somebody dies. It could be a classic. I just read The Thin Man. So anything you want. It doesn't have to be the dark and messed up version, any version of murder that you want to pick up. Number 15 is Keep It Cozy. So this is whatever your version of cozy is. So again, as we've got October, November, and December ahead of us, in at least my part of the world, we're getting into the colder season. So it could be hot cocoa, it could be in a chair under your blanket. This isn't a specific book unless you want to choose cozy mystery. So again, make it work for you, but it could just be whatever book you want in a cozy location and whatever your version of a cozy atmosphere is. Maybe it's your favorite sweater. And if you are living somewhere where it's warmer, surely there's something cozy that you can do in warmer weather. Maybe it's just you're wearing some fuzzy slippers that you love. Like whatever your version of cozy is, read a book while you're doing the cozy thing or drinking the cozy drink. That's the whole point of it. Next up is True Story. So in honor of Nonfiction November, just pick up anything that's true. So it could be true crime, it could be a memoir, it could be a how-to book, it could be a self-help book, anything that is just nonfiction. Next up is debut or something new. So this could be a debut book. Doesn't mean it has to have come out in 2022. Like it could be Postmortem by Patricia Cornwall. That was her first book. Or something new could just be a book that you just recently purchased. So trying to give you guys some options here. Next up is World Series. So we're in baseball season and I'm a baseball fan, so the World Series is coming our way, but you don't have to read about baseball. This is to read a book in any series that you want. So start a series, finish a series, somewhere in between, just anything that is part of a series. That's what this one's all about. Or again, read about baseball, whatever works. 'Tis the season. So as I mentioned, between October and New Year's, we have a lot of holidays coming our way. So anything that is seasonal to you, whatever that season is, whatever the holiday is, maybe it's spooky season, maybe it's the back to school, maybe it's a New Year's Eve party, maybe it's families getting together for Thanksgiving, whatever you want to do, whatever the season, you've got lots of choices in the next 3 months. So just read a book that is set during one of the seasonal things that happen in the next 3 months. Here's our something new in 2022. So this is a book that came out in 2022. I feel like I probably should have made these a little further apart, but you know, it's all good here. So anything that came out in 2022, you're golden on this one. Next up is Best of Friends. So you guys know I love books that involve friend circles, groups of friends. Maybe it's past and present, maybe it's in my dreams and one of them died. It's whatever it is. Died, murdered, you know. But any book that involves any kind of group of friends in it, that's what this one's all about. Then we have Scare Tactics. So this could be something spooky and scary, or it could be just a book that scares you. And a book that scares you could be something that's totally hyped and you're like a little bit nervous to go into it. Or maybe it's the biggest book on your TBR, or maybe it is a topic or content that you're a little bit apprehensive of and it makes you a little bit nervous going into it. Or again, maybe it's just a classic Stephen King book that you're completely terrified of, but you want to read it anyway. So anything that scares you fits this category. Next up, we have Isolated Vibes. Another one of my most favorite tropes is the isolated thriller, the and then there were none. So you could go that route where people are someplace isolated. I know that usually leans heavy into a murder mystery, but again, there are classics and there are moderns. But maybe it's like, I haven't read that book, Room by Emma Donoghue, but like people were isolated in that room, so you could go that route if you want to. Or maybe it's a book like Wild, which I also haven't read. Let's talk about all the books I haven't read, but she goes on a solo journey. So anything that has any sort of isolation to it fits this one. And then finally, something borrowed. So this could be you borrowed it from your library, you borrowed it from friends or family. Anything that you didn't purchase yourself counts as something borrowed. Okay, I'm trying to shimmy back towards the middle a little bit. So that's it. That's the bingo board. That was my idea of doing something fun. It's really a great way to, I don't want to say procrastinated because I had a lot of fun creating this. I don't know, it just like scratched an itch for me, but I really wanted to just give myself something that I could work off of. And I don't have specific books in mind that I'm gonna read this, that, and the other thing. But of course, as I was coming up with these, I was like, oh, I could do this, I could do that. And my brain was turning, but we'll see what happens. We'll see. But the whole idea is read your shelves, read your library. Like I said, borrow books from people. This is not go out and buy a whole bunch of books. This is not, like I said, you don't have to read 25 books. If you want to, great. I'm gonna try to read 25 books. I am doing National Novel Writing Month in November. I say this every year. I know that's going to impact my reading in some form or another, so we'll just see. But again, all the fun here. It's all just designed to have a good time. Get one bingo, get two, do the entire board if you're feeling super ambitious. But I really hope you guys will join me in this. I would love to hear what you think, if you think this is a fun idea. This is just, again, me sort of trying something new, and I just thought it would be a fun time. And the whole idea is to be doing something fun. So I hope to see you over the next 92 days as of October 1. And if you do participate in it, definitely use the hashtag that I created, which is BOOKTROVERT BINGO. It's all down below. It's all, like I said, in all my places, which again is Instagram and here. So you know where to go. But thank you guys so much for watching and for being here today. I really hope you guys will join me in doing this. I thought it would be a great way to create some more community and some more conversation, which again is one of my most favorite parts of being here and being with you guys. So let me know, and until we meet again in another video, take care everybody, and I'll see you soon. Bye.